Alrighty guys, this is the first part of your revision. You're looking at the equations section. First ones, you've got one-step equations. To get A on its own, you take a 5 away, so A equals 8 minus 5, which is of course 3. Next one, we've got B minus 2. To do that, we're going to add the 2 to the other side. Remember, every time you're trying to get something away, you do the opposite. So B equals minus 3 plus 2, which is of course minus 1. Be careful with your negatives. If we're timesing C by 5, we're going to divide 50 by 5. End up with 10. If we're dividing D by 4, we're going to times the 12 by 4. D equals 12 times 4, which is 48. If we're adding 12, we're going to minus 12 from both sides. So we end up with A equals 7 minus 12, which is of course minus 5. If we're minusing, we've got to add it. So we end up with B equals minus 4 plus 8, which gives us a total of positive 4. Timesing by 4, divide by 4. 20 divided by 4 is of course 5. If we're dividing by 3, we times by 3. So D equals 4 times 3, which is of course 12. Knowing your times tables is very important. Dividing by minus 5, W equals 10 divided by minus 5, which of course gives us a negative 2. If we're adding 10, we minus 10, and we end up with V equals 3 minus 10, which gives us minus 7. Our next one's a bit trickier. We've got the minus G, so if we add him to the other side, we're going to end up with 1 equals 5 plus G, which still doesn't give us our answer. So then we're going to take our 5 away to the other side. And we have 1 minus 5, which is going to give us G, which is minus 4. Again, a little bit trickier. We've got the R on the bottom, so we're timesing him across, and we end up with 9 equals 3R. And we know, of course, if we've timesed, we're dividing to get that 3 away, which will give us 9 divided by 3 equals R, which is 3. Looking at some more complicated equations, first step, of course, is that 4 that's on his own. Remember, we're always going to be Bodmasson backwards, so the minus becomes a plus. 11 plus 4 is 15. If we divide by 3, A equals 15 divided by 3, which is of course 5. Sorry, computer's gone a bit nuts. There we go. 11 plus 4 is 15. 3A equals 15. There we go. Divide by 3. A is 15 divided by 3, which is 5. Our next one, we're looking where the number is, and there's no letter. We get rid of that 10. 0 minus 10 is, of course, minus 10. So we've got 2B equals minus 10. We're dividing by that 2. We end up with B equals minus 10 divided by 2. Of course, we all know that that will give us a negative answer. It's negative 5. Now, our square roots. Your calculator will only give you one of the answers. There are, of course, 2. There is the positive or the negative version of 6. Because 6 times 6 is 36, and minus 6 times minus 6 is also 36. It can either be written with the plus or minus sign in front, or you can write the positive and the negative, depending on which one you feel better with. Looking at our lovely brackets, let's expand them out first. 3 times x is, of course, 3x. 3 times 4 is 12. They're going to minus our 12 over, and we end up with 3x equals 21 minus 12, which gives us, of course, 9. 3x equals 9. We know if we've got a 3x, we're going to divide both sides by 3, giving us x equals 9 divided by 3, which is, of course, 3. And that's the end of the equation section.